In the heart of a quiet village nestled amidst rolling hills and whispering trees, there lived an old man named Thomas. He was a man shrouded in loneliness, his heart heavy with the absence of family and friends. Years had passed since his wife and children had left him, leaving him all alone in this world. The villagers, though, saw only a gruff, grumpy old man. They noticed his weathered face and stooped shoulders, his calloused hands and faded eyes. They saw a man out of place in their modern world. They didn't see the pain hidden beneath his rough exterior or the gentle soul that resided within. Now, his small cottage at the edge of the village was always shrouded in mist and silence, mist from the nearby river that flowed like tears down his cheeks, and silence that echoed the emptiness of his heart. This old man found solace only in the company of his bees. He tended to his apiary with meticulous care, finding a strange comfort in the rhythmic hum of the insects. For, in their industrious buzz, he heard the faint echoes of life, a life that once resonated within him too. One day, however, as Thomas made his rounds in the woods, he heard a faint cry carried on the wind. It was a sound that tore through the tranquility of the forest like a jagged shard of glass. Startled, he followed the sound until he came across a clearing, and what he found there changed his life forever. In the center of the clearing stood a tiny figure, no bigger than a tree sapling. The child was soaked to the bone, his thin body shaking. Fear clutched at Thomas's heart. He rushed to the child, his own shivering forgotten. Gently, he lifted the boy, wrapping him in his thick jacket. The child's face, a mixture of terror and exhaustion, was turned towards him. His eyes, pools of deep sadness, reflected the pain of abandonment. That moment was a turning point for Thomas. The sight of the lost child stirred something deep within his old, dormant heart. He felt a responsibility, a pull towards the child that he couldn't understand. Despite his initial hesitation and the daunting task ahead, Thomas knew he couldn't leave the boy in that state, so he cradled him close, whispering soothing words. He brought the boy back to his cottage, not knowing that he was about to embark on a journey that would redefine his existence. As he warmed the child by the fire, Thomas noticed the intricate patterns on his tiny feet, webbed and unnaturally large toes. He realized it was no ordinary child. It was a monkey child, probably abandoned by his troop after being injured. But the sight of those sad, intelligent eyes tugged at Thomas's heartstrings. He couldn't bring himself to send the animal away. Instead, he decided to keep him, naming him Leo. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Leo thrived under Thomas's care. Although he couldn't walk like other children, his mind was sharp, his curiosity boundless. He would sit by Thomas, watching him work, occasionally reaching out to touch the old man's hand. However, not everyone in the village shared their joy. Some villagers, driven by prejudice and fear, demanded that Thomas get rid of the monkey, claiming that it was a nuisance and a danger to the community. Their words were harsh, their tone accusatory, but Thomas stood firm, his resolve unwavering. One evening, a group of teenagers snuck into Thomas's yard, intending to scare Leo, but when they found him, they saw not a monster, but a gentle, curious creature. Touched by his innocence, one of the boys, Mark, who had always been kind to animals, offered to befriend Leo. Seeing the bond form between them, Thomas felt a surge of hope. Perhaps Leo wouldn't be so alone after all. As the years went by, Leo blossomed into a young man under Thomas's guidance. He learned to read, write, and even help Thomas with his work. He became an integral part of the village, his laughter echoing in the streets, his presence bringing smiles to people's faces. He was no longer seen as a freak, but as a kind, intelligent young man. Despite their differences, they shared a profound bond, a testament to the power of love and acceptance. The villagers, once apprehensive, now embraced Leo, recognizing the extraordinary young man he had become. They organized a feast in his honor, celebrating his strength, intelligence, and most importantly, his indomitable spirit. But their happiness was short. A traveling circus, notorious for exploiting animals, arrived in the village. Their leader, a man with a sinister smile and eyes that glistened with greed, set his sights on Leo, offering Thomas a hefty sum for the young man. His intention, to use Leo's unique abilities to draw crowds and make a fortune. Thomas, horrified at the thought of Leo being caged and exploited, refused the offer. He looked at Leo, now a young adult, his eyes reflecting the pain of his past. Thomas knew he had to do everything to protect him. Days turned into weeks, and the circus leader, enraged by Thomas's refusal, devised a new plan. He spread rumors about Leo, claiming he was dangerous and unpredictable. He wanted to drive the villagers to the point where they would demand Leo's removal from the village, making Thomas's refusal seem like the only option. Fear once again gripped the villagers. They started avoiding Leo, their whispers carrying tales of the young man's supposed monstrosity. Leo looked at Thomas, his eyes shining with unshed tears. He understood Thomas's words, understood the love that had been hidden beneath the gruff exterior all these years. He wasn't alone. He had a father who loved him, a father who had shown him the true meaning of kindness and acceptance. As they embraced, the years of pain and abandonment seemed to melt away. It was a moment of profound healing, a testament to the enduring power of love and connection. In that embrace, they found solace, strength, and the promise of a future filled with hope. From that day forward, their bond became even stronger. They faced the world together, hand in hand, ready to conquer any challenge that came their way. The villagers, realizing the error of their ways, apologized for their behavior. They welcomed Leo back, showering him with kindness and understanding. Years passed, and Thomas, nearing the end of his life, found peace knowing that Leo was happy.